you were just watching. Wisconsin and Northwestern both shooting it at 50%. Northwestern came out and hit their first 2 3-pointers, but one of the guys, Bucky, that hit the 3-pointer, the 6'11" senior, Aaron Jennings, has picked up 2 fouls. We've got to keep an eye on that because in the upset win over Indiana, he had foul trouble. Coach Carmody felt they were lucky to win that game with Jennings spending so much time on the bench, so we'll have to keep an eye on that foul situation. Take a look at our starting lineups, and again, a couple of clubs that have gone in different directions in the Big Ten the last couple of years. Wisconsin on the way up, Northwestern trying to find themselves, but Bo Ryan's club for Wisconsin has a couple of freshmen, Tucker to watch out for in particular, Bull Wade, who comes off the bench as well.
Well, Penny, number 20, the only returning first-teamer all Big Ten, and he's a handful. He's already shown us that maturity and moxie, as we call it in the East, around the perimeter. He can score. Northwestern must get a good start. In the first game in Madison, they got jumped on at the beginning of both halves. They've averted that. They're in a very close game now, and Northwestern in a close game is tough. They are not a good catch-up team with their patience.
Wisconsin, the best defensive team in the Big Ten in terms of points allowed. Northwestern is the lowest scoring team, so we could see a game in the 50s or 60s, but we've had a pretty good pace here as Devin Harris shows some pretty good offensive instincts there with a jump hook.
In the swing offense that Bo Ryan runs, everybody posts up, and T.J. Parker now has been abused twice. The little guard from Northwestern down inside. He's going to have a hard time with the matchups.
There is Bill Carmody, as you mentioned, in his 3rd season in Northwestern, and his first season started late for him in September, Bucky. So he really was kind of behind the 8 ball as far as putting his team together. And Bo Ryan, a phenomenal record in Division III at Wisconsin-Platteville before coming back to Wisconsin, where he started as an assistant coach many years ago.
And in his first year at Wisconsin, he was the Big Ten Coach of the Year, first ever for the Badgers, and shared with 3 other teams a share of the Big Ten title in the first year. So what have you done for us lately, Bo Ryan?
Here is Kirk Penny looking to the inside. Kicks it out to Tucker, the outstanding freshman, to the basket, laid it up no good, but Orlando Tucker is going to the line. Later tonight here on ESPN, a college basketball doubleheader at 7. A couple of teams 4-4 here in the Big Ten. Michigan State will take on Tom Coverdale and the Indiana Hoosiers. Then at 9 Eastern, Reese Gaines and number 6 Louisville. They've won their last 16. They'll take on Houston. It's all part of Rivalry Week presented by Novell on ESPN and ESPN2. Rick Pitino's only loss, it was against a Big Ten team way back in November when they lost to the Purdue Boilermakers. As you take a look at the longest current streaks in Division I.
Bobby Gonzalez with the Manhattan Jaspers right up there in the 2 spot. There are long streaks I don't think are going to be frequent in this college basketball season.
Northwestern with a chance to regain the lead. Parker, a lot of shake and bake moves now to Tim Young. He'll pull up for the 3. That was too strong. And Kirk Penny, the only Big Ten player that is in the top 10 in points, no surprise, rebounds, you might not realize it, and assists. He can pass the ball.
And he's an academic all Big Ten player. You got to be smart to do that diversification.
Penny coming off the subpar game in the loss against Purdue, and that's what he can do. You think of him as an outside shooter, Bucky, but he can score on the inside as well.
Mohammed Hashad thought the freshman, the 6'5" freshman, who's a terrific defender, thought he had stopped the play. Not so. Penny had one more move left and converted.
Here is Parker to the free throw line. Behind the back passes, that's sweet.
I hear just the background music of Sweet Georgia Brown. Was that nice?
Winston Blake, who's been a starter a lot of the season coming off the bench of late, he was the recipient of that pass. And Northwestern back to within 1.
Bill Carmody says, I have a passing drill every day. There's Penny posting up. He kills you softly from the middle with the pull-ups on the perimeter, and he's strong enough to post up.
Well, he did it to Jason Burke after he did it to Hashad the possession before.
Oh, he's irrespective.
Yeah,
he has about as much respect for his defensive man as a puppy has for a newspaper. No way.
Here is Blake all the way, lays it up short. Northwestern's missed 2 or 3 of those, Bucky. They're getting to the rim, but you got to finish.
And Bo Ryan's got to be a little concerned, too, with those long dribbles from the perimeter. There's no weak side help, and that's one of the really strong points of that Wisconsin defense.
Making 5 straight field goals that Wisconsin has hit is Freddie Owens. All 5 starters have scored. Biggest lead, as you hear the noise coming up in the background. Under the basket, Young was able to spin and get it to the left hand, but he traveled in the process. Wisconsin on the road. It's tough to win in conference play, but Bo Ryan's club with the early 5-point lead.
What's your rhythm of life? What is your music? Doesn't matter if you play it, sing it, or dance it. It's in your soul. Being true to yourself is what you really enjoy. Be you, Budweiser. True.
New Domino's Dots taste so good, we want to give everyone a chance to try them. Get an order of gooey, delicious, cinnamon-covered Domino's Dots free when you buy a large one-topping pizza for $9.99, only from Domino's.
I love this job.
Get the door, quick. It's free Domino's Dots.
Giant Michael Strahan and his mom brought Luis Hernandez new Campbell's Chunky Honey Roasted Ham and Potatoes, filled up right by those hearty chunks of ham. Luis was in hog heaven.
Hey, did you know that when you let Jackson Hewitt prepare your taxes, you can get money right away with a Money Now loan? Just walk in with your W-2 and walk out with money. So come on by, and I'll be happy to get you started.
Just saw your commercial.
What, this commercial?
Yeah, and I'd like to get money now.
This commercial?
Yeah.
Okay. Have a seat.
The Jackson Hewitt Money Now loan. You can't get money any faster.
ESPN's presentation of Rivalry Week is presented by Novell and in part by Audi. In technology, performance, and design, our goal remains constant. Never follow.
Welcome back here to Evanston. Dear Mom and Dad, expensive school. Please send money now. Bucky, there's no inexpensive schools, are there?
Not private ones. No, indeed. You know, you mentioned, talking about schools, you had not been in Cameron Indoor Stadium, which is at Duke. This building, Welsh Ryan Arena, is very similar texture. It's old. You look out here, and all the great players that have played in the Big Ten in many, many years have been on these boards. A lot of nostalgia here. And I think Bill Carmody's going to put some teeth back in these Wildcats. Give them a little time.
Harris has shot well off the mark, as I was about to point out that Wisconsin's hit 70% of their field goals. That hit 0% of the target.
Well, sometime in these old buildings you get a breeze, and I think that's what happened there.
A shot on the inside. Good job there, though, by Jachim Young, as he had the position and drew the foul. Tonight, ESPN2 has 2 great college basketball rivalries. Big South matchup at 6 Eastern. Winthrop looking to avenge a January loss to Coastal Carolina. Then at 9 Eastern, number 3 Texas Longhorns. Rick Barnes, what a club he has down there against in-state rivals, the Texas A&M Aggies, all part of Rivalry Week presented by Novell. For more information, log on to ESPN.com.
Barnes has done it everywhere he's been. Providence, Clemson, and now he's got the Longhorns.
Blake kicks it up top. Young. Now to Burke. Northwestern will be patient. They'll use a lot of the 35-second clock. Here's a shot into the lane against Penny. Nice move to get to the rim. Lays it up and in.
How's that for a freshman? He's just starting the last few games. He came in as a defender.
Now Penny to the paint. Nice look underneath. Then Wilkinson with the left hand. The junior from Blue Mound, Wisconsin.
Good spacing that time by Wisconsin. Unfortunately for Bill Carmody, his defense was spaced as well. Just no quickness in the feet that time. Good penetration by the Badgers.
Look at the shooting numbers. Wisconsin, a couple of games back against Penn State, had their best shooting game of the year. Then against Purdue, their worst shooting game. So Bull Ryan's club is showing that they can bounce back shooting the ball well here so far. But Northwestern not too shabby as T.J. Parker rises up.
Well, he was really shut down in that first game, Dave. Only 5 points in the first game at Madison, Wisconsin.
I said we could have a game in the 50s, Buck. We might have a game in the 50s in the first half the way these two teams are going.
And they both take great pride in their defense. It's great execution. Penny posting up again.
Harris hearing the air ball chant every time he touches a Penny. But how good is that when late in the shot clock, everything breaks down, you got a guy that can do that.
Normally, that's what Northwestern does to other people. They make you stay on defense for 30-plus seconds and then put that dagger in you.
Now Parker to the basket, used his forearm there, and he'll be called for it. T.J. Parker, it may have been embellished a little bit by Harris, I believe it was, on the defensive end, but he got the forearm out there.
T.J. Parker, 6'2", averaging 12 a game, and he doesn't get many charges. It's pretty hard to stay in front of this guy. His brother, of course, Tony, the starting guard for San Antonio. Look at this, almost a steal. Nothing but nylon. And that was a good 2 strides past the bonus line.
He does have NBA range and NBA aspirations, Kirk Penny. Good active hands by the Wildcats on the defensive end. Burke almost got a little too fancy with the ball there. The shot had it blocked. Excellent help defense there. And Harris just reached out, and the shot thought he had an open look.
That shot's a little quicker than I think Bill Carmody would like to see it go up against Wisconsin.
Now Penny on the inside, and that is knocked away. Andreas Helmig, number 21, who had just checked in, I believe drew the foul there with trying to get his position.
Helmig really taking up a lot of space under the basket, and they're trying to get it to him. He's much more physical than anything that Northwestern has in that post area.
That was not a foul on Helming at the other end, just a turnover by the Badgers, but this is definitely a foul. Boo Wade picking up his first as he reached in. Wisconsin shooting the ball extremely well here on the road for Bo Ryan, and they lead it 24-18.
Hi, I'm Mike Weiniger, marketing manager at Westport Chrysler Dodge. And as marketing manager, I use one of the most effective advertising tools today in the market, which happens to be Charter Communication. It has been one of Westport Chrysler Dodge's main media sources in attracting new and return business. With the help of Tim Marcy, our account rep, and the Charter crew, our advertisements grab the attention of our customers. Look for our unique ads along with Westport Man on Charter Cable. Thanks, Charter, for being a vital asset to Westport Chrysler Dodge.
We sell close to 3 million boxes per month. This is our smallest box. This is our biggest box. We go on to the next question.
For 20 years, Boxes Incorporated has kept its commercial insurance neatly packaged with only one company, American Family Insurance.
Our American Family agent got to know us and to know our business. He's a real professional.
American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof.
Any size, any shape, boxes are our bag.
American Family Insurance.
Welcome back here to Evanston. Northwestern trailing by 6 here in the first half. But the other night, not only a win over Indiana, but they did it convincingly. A shot who had 6 steals, one of his 6 steals there. Lob pass to Young for the slam dunk, and a happy Bill Carmody, an unhappy Mike Davis. But the first win for Northwestern against Indiana, look at that, since January of 1988. It broke a 10-game conference losing streak. And that doesn't include the loss in the Big Ten tournament against Michigan last year.
Oh, talking about those swings, they lost to Indiana 10 days before that game by 14, then completely reversed it back here in their last game here and won by 13. It's called playing at home.
Tim Young pulls up just inside the arc. That was a bit strong. And Boo Wade runs it down. And here comes Wisconsin now, just walking it up the court, Buck taking their time. 6 is the biggest lead for the Badgers. Harris still hearing the air ball chant.
Out of the timeout, Northwestern back in man for man.
Penny, nice look on the inside to Tucker, who hasn't touched it much in there, but unable to get the roll. Wilkinson gets the nice bounce and lays it up with the left hand and in.
Fortuitous. Northwestern had their hands on it, couldn't come out with it.
6 points for Wilkinson, and the lead grows now to 8. You mentioned it, Buck. Northwestern, not a team that's built to come back from big deficits.
They need to keep Wisconsin on defense a little longer.
Here's a shot, pulls up for the 3. Hit one of them earlier, but he's rushed his last couple of shots.
Well, the spread that Northwestern shows you that's so hard to defend is making it virtually impossible for them to get anything close to an offensive rebound. Meanwhile, Wisconsin very good on the offensive board.
Here is Tucker on the inside, and he wisely pulls it out. Penny with a couple of fakes going left. Rashad went for the steal. Good movement again by Wisconsin, and Tucker had an open look from the corner. There's Wilkinson again, had it blocked a couple of times. Tucker lays it up, no good. And boy, give the Wildcats credit. They win that battle on the boards.
Boy, Wisconsin is just tenacious. Frenzy feeding on that offensive board.
Didn't we have that discussion last night? What's more tenacious, a Wildcat or a Badger?
Yeah, we did. and it was a draw.
Jim Maley, number 20, has checked into the ball game for Bill Carmody. Young on the inside. Good strength of holding on that ball because it was hit by one of the Wisconsin defenders.
Boy, it's a long time since they scored, and it gave them a chance to extend the defense, trying to take Wisconsin out of that great rhythm they have. Swing offense. Bo Ryan, he even makes educational tapes. He has them for offense, defense. He's a regular producer, but he's been a heck of a coach for a long time.
And we got some great coaching matchups going at it here tonight as Rivalry Week presented by Nobel continues. Michigan State, Indiana, beginning at 7 Eastern tonight here on ESPN. And then Rick Pitino's Louisville Cardinals going up against Houston. Louisville, of course, has won their last 16. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Right in the heart of the conference schedules around the country. Penny to the baseline, puts it up too strong. There's Tucker again. Boy, it was the offensive glass that was the huge difference the first time these two teams met 10 days ago. Big rebounding advantage for Wisconsin, Bucky, and most of it on the offensive glass.
Well, just looking out there right now, without Jennings on the floor, I mean, this is not a small Northwestern team. They are minuscule.
Not a bad foul there by Harris again. Those Princeton backdoor cuts, even though you know they're coming, Bucky, they just have a way of getting themselves open.
Yeah, you get burned quick off this offense. One, you're not quite ready for the quick reverses. And then secondly, at the end of the shot clock, where you've been on defense in a good stance for 25, 30 seconds, and then somebody pulls a string on you or steps back for a 3, and you're just tired.
And Young able to get the kind roll. Leading scorer for this Northwestern team. There's Bo Ryan. You were talking about his videos involving the swing offense. He's got a video out for just about every aspect of the game, and he's found that a lot of his tapes that he's put out in terms of how to put a practice together, young coaches around the country are taking a great deal of interest in that.
And it's helped him in recruiting, too. The favor he did to them in building his system makes him a very welcome visitor when he comes back and wants their best player.
Wisconsin up by 7. Jennings is back in the ball game. Again, he's got the 2 fouls as Wilkinson's long 3 is no good. Young on the break into the lane, and he is grabbed. And looks like it's going to go against Kirk Penny. Yes.
Jim Young has those great quicks and hops. And that time, Wisconsin, that normally does a superb job of stopping the ball, did not. But he's very tough to stay in front of.
Well, Bo Ryan was saying, you made the point about sometimes having to be on defense for 25, 30 seconds. He said the scout team, the second stringers that was running the Northwestern stuff in practice, he said they ran it down to about 7 on the shot clock, missed the shot, long rebound, got it again. He said our guys were on defense for 3 possessions, almost 2 minutes, and he said that's the way it might be Saturday afternoon.
Suck it up.
Underrated the service that those second stringers provide sometimes when they're running the offense of the team that you're about to play.
Yeah, they have a ball. Oh my, you can't come off of him. Northwestern dodged a bullet that time. They doubled down on the post and left Kirk Penny wide open.
This is Clayton Hanson, who has checked in, the sophomore from Reedsburg, Wisconsin, who only plays about 4 minutes a game when he does get in. And he delivers a 3 from the corner, and the biggest lead again for the Badgers now at 31-22.
Northwestern will stay unruffled. Jennings back in the game, has pulled the center. Wilkinson out, so that opens up some room underneath.
Parker trying to force it up, a lot of contact with the body and the ball.
That looked like jackpot bowling. Red jerseys everywhere, no call.
Down to 3.5 remaining here in the first half. Dangerous pass by Penny, but it got to Hanson. Boo Wade on the wing, gets it down the post. Tucker with a quick spin move. He's got good feet, but couldn't finish there.
Well, Jennings' presence off that defensive board, when he was out of there is when all the shenanigans were going on and the Badgers were playing volleyball.
Jennings wants it down low on the offensive end. Backs in. Wilkinson able to hit, and he's fouled. Aaron Jennings will go to the line.
Carmody gambling a little bit, went back with his big man, put him back in the game, and it's paying off. No helping down. Jennings, one-on-one, nice turnaround, nice fadeaway. Got a great touch, a big fella. 37% from the three-point line. Free throw should be easy.
And he knocks that one down, so after Wisconsin had their biggest lead, they come back with a 3-point play. It's down to 6, under 3 to go here in the first half.
Martin, please, come in. Everyone know Martin from IT, the guy who linked all our applications together? What, no chair? Okay. Anyone whose department didn't make a 170% return on investment last quarter, step back from the table. Grab a seat, Martin.
System upgrade. What happens when the technology you invest in actually makes you money? Novell.
Have you seen the new look for this year? Introducing the all-new CLK.
So, I choked on a peanut and they upgraded me to first class. No, there's nobody famous up here, but...
Excuse me, I'm not supposed to be saying this, but those calls are really expensive.
You might want to wait till you get home and use 10-10-220.
Why's that?
It's 99 cents for all calls up to 20 minutes.
And there's no monthly commitment.
You mean I only pay for the calls I make?
That's right.
You're smart.
Thank you.
Oh, and muscly. You ever think about going into sports?
When I was a little boy.
Dial 10-10-220. The critics have called Gods and Generals the finest movie ever made about the Civil War. And the best American historical film, period. Jeff Daniels, Stephen Lang, and Robert Duvall as Robert E. Lee.
You will come home.
Ron Maxwell has given us an American masterpiece.
The rest is in God's hands.
Gods and Generals. Directed by Ron Maxwell. Rated PG-13. Starts February 21st.
Hi, Chris Fowler in our Hoops studio. Coming up on the Mass Mutual halftime report, we'll check all the scores and highlights, including Purdue and Minnesota in the Big Ten. Also, Kansas and Kansas State. The Jayhawks really getting a battle from a Wildcat team that's a little better than its record. On the miss by Richards here, Hayden with the putback. K-State up at the break. Keep it posted, guys.
All right, Chris, thanks very much. That's the Big 12. We're in the Big 10. Rivalry Week presented by Novell continues. Out-rebounded by Wisconsin. Northwestern was 42-21 when they met 10 days ago. That's the biggest advantage that Wisconsin's had in a game since '95. And look at it. Yeah, I mean, you'd think that they would learn. Northwestern 19-8 and 7-1 advantage in offensive rebounding. They're pounding them on the offensive glass again.
Well, that's a physical problem for Northwestern, but they've got to get some people to the offensive board. They're just firing and fall back. Chuck and duck, we call it.
Wilkinson, good help defense by Hashad, and I think Wilkinson's going to be called for the foul here on the loose ball. Third foul against Wilkinson. As we remind you, ESPN2 has a couple of great college basketball rivalries in the Big South. Winthrop looking to avenge an earlier loss against Coastal Carolina. That'll be followed at 9. Number 3, the Texas Longhorns visit in-state rivals Texas A&M Aggies. All part of Rivalry Week presented by Novell. For more, log on to ESPN.com.
Mike Wilkinson, the redshirt sophomore, amazingly for a big guy, had 8 straight games where he led the team in steals. And he's up there at 22 a game. That time, he was the victim. So turnabout's fair play, big fella.
The shot unable to take advantage of the free throw, but on the tie-up, the possession arrow favors Northwestern.
Give Northwestern credit for getting the ball when it's low. Right now, the Badgers dominating everything high, especially when the big fella's on the bench. But he's back in. Look at this hustle play. The Jim Young, Hashad, they've got to hustle.
Here is Blake.
Yeah, they look like they need more time in the weight room. This looks like a Princeton team.
Parker pulls it out with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Wants to go one-on-one there against Hansen, who did a good job keeping him in front of him.
His brother, Tony Parker, is in the point guard contest at the All-Star break. And we saw some very deft ball handling there. I guess you learn when your older brother is a star in the NBA.
Join ABC Sports tomorrow for great regional action. College basketball coverage. We'll talk about that after we tell you about the Mass Mutual halftime report. Alabama and number 1 Florida. Kansas State highlights Dayton taking on number 19 Xavier in the Atlantic 10. That's all coming up on the Mass Mutual halftime report. With Chris Fowler, and Kirk Penny is fouled here by Mohamed Hashad.
Hashad just starting the last 3 games again was put in there for his defense because Winston Blake had really cooled off with his outside shooting. The extended defense by Northwestern has really been good. It's kind of slowed the Badgers down, and it hasn't cost them much, but it did there. That was not a good foul.
Wisconsin gets it right back. Here is Tucker. Thought about the 3. He'll pull the trigger from there, and the long rebound. Young is fouled by Tucker. First foul against Orlando Tucker. Kirk Penny, those hands of his are valuable. Did he injure it here on the fall?
It was a hard fall. Not sure. It looked like more like he hit his chest.
Yeah.
Boy, there you are. I'm sure Bo Ryan has those hands insured. When you got a guy that's back-to-back all Big Ten, yeah, you make sure those paws. Oh, he's giving a little chin music now. Anybody from that Philly area is going to have something to say when things aren't going right.
And you would know that, wouldn't you, Bucky?
I would know that. He introduced me to his team last night after practice, and really a nice introduction. Coach at West Virginia, Duke, and out. And I told his kids that I was his probation officer in the protection program. They looked at me. We had a good laugh.
Well, the crowd wanted a whistle there for a Wisconsin turnover after Young hit the 2 free throws. It's down to a 4-point Badger lead. And after that scoring pace that we saw in the first 10 minutes of this half, it has slowed down considerably to the pace we expected. And an offensive foul.
It has gone to a grinder, as it were, and both these teams are comfortable at. Wisconsin can play fast, they can play slow. The most points scored against them was 90 by Wake Forest in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. And of course, Skip Prosser made the point that he bought the tape on the swing offense, but that was the offense wasn't the problem.
That's right,
it's the fact that Wake scored 90. And against Wisconsin, that's saying something.
Boy, Jim Young has taken over this offense. He has brought the Wildcats back to within 2. 10 points for Jim Young, who's coming off that double-double in the victory here against Indiana. Floating pass just gets into the hands of Penny. And Helmig decides to pull it back out. And Parker's going to be called for the foul here as he was out putting the pressure on Clayton Hansen. That is the 3rd foul on T.J. Parker. And not the kind of foul you want for your 3rd.
Not really. Look at that. Good lean, good stretch in there. That dislocated finger on the left hand has not seemed to bother to Jim. He is just a marvelous athlete. Coming off of 23 points and 12 rebounds in that scorching win for the Wildcats in here, the last home game, the first one in ages, and the start of 6 of 8, where the Wildcats hope to get well.
Hansen unable to hit the free throw, but the huge rebound by Tucker.
Boy, you gotta like him. 6'5" freshman, plays about 6'9".
About 6 seconds difference between the game clock and the shot clock, and Penny going hard to the basket now will go to the free throw line. Winston Blake picking up his first personal foul.
So Jim Young taking over the point now with Parker on the bench. Might be a little vulnerable to pressure. They depend so much on T.J. Parker.
Penny are able to hit the first. You see 3 of 7 from the floor. Chipping in with those 4 rebounds, and 11 points now for the senior guard. Northwestern with a chance to cut this margin to 2 or 1, depending on a 2 or a 3 if they can hit it. Bill Carmody wants to talk things over with 24 seconds remaining here in the half. Well, the 2 players that we figured to hear from extensively in this game, Kirk Penny for Wisconsin, Jim Young from Northwestern, and they haven't disappointed, leading their respective clubs in scoring.
Jim Young had several other opportunities on good penetrations where he got right to the iron and just couldn't get it to go down. Although they're vastly different in styles, they're both terrific players. Penny, of course, a senior, and Young is a junior. Young had 17 in both of the last 2 games against Wisconsin, so he's money in the bank. This is no surprise.
There you see the second chance points. 12 Wisconsin points off of 9 offensive rebounds. Quite the opposite for Northwestern, just 3 points. The shot clock is off, and let's see what Bill Carmody has come up with to try to cut into this small Wisconsin lead that had grown to as much as 9. Down to 3. Maley has to force it, and a tip-up is no good. They're saying no good. They're going to call a foul on Hashad. So it's not a question of whether it beat the clock. Hashad is called for the foul, and that means we're going to shoot at the other end.
Northwestern seemed to have momentum. Soft off the iron. Rashad coming over the back of Penny, and the wrong guy in the gym.
Yeah.
From Northwestern standpoint, they send Kirk Penny, a 78% free throw shooter, who has clearly demonstrated he's cool under pressure. Bo Ryan was 3 strides out onto the court, anticipating that call.
So the foul against Hashad. Now the officials, I think, want to talk about whether there should be any time on the clock. Right now it's all zeros.
They may have said time expired before the foul. That's a possibility.
Now remember, they can't go to video replay at the end of the half. We just had that situation in a game a couple of weeks ago.
Here we have 3.3. There's the shot by Meili. Soft iron.
There's the the contact was before the...
Clearly it was.
Yep.
I'm guessing. That's the only thing I can think of that would be... the foul was called. There's a question whether the clock was alive on the follow-up shot. Most teams will take that clock right down so that you just barely have time for a tip-in, and certainly not a defensive opportunity. So that was timed perfectly, and the tip was there. The problem is Mohamed Hassan at 6'5", the freshman from Montreal, had to do a little climbing.
Yeah.
And he climbed over the New Zealander to get the tip. Boy, what a nice touch the kid has.
Yeah, it was just a week ago, the game I was trying to think of, Michigan State and Illinois, when Michigan State hit that basket at the end of the half. And Jay Billis was talking about it, one of the points he was making in his Under the Board segment on SportsCenter earlier today, saying it's something maybe the Rules Committee needs to look at, these end-of-half situations. If you're going to do it at the end of the game, I mean, these are just as important, the points. As a coach, I'm sure you would agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with Jay. He's like 99% most of the time. He's a marvelous articulator and understands the game. I have just a bias about any more stops in our game. For anything, I just think we have such a great game. And at the end of the game, we stop the clock. We stop the clock. Clipboard suits. The international game, you get 2 timeouts, and I know TV dictates timeouts, but I just really hate to see the drama of the game sucked out with all the stoppages at the end. And I'm still not sure, and no one has really told us what the debate is about.
Well, it would be the 10th foul, which would put Kirk Penny to the line for 2 rather than a 1-and-1. So I guess the discussion really is just how much time is going to be on the clock. Right now they've got 0.5 up there.
Well, the coaches are well, they are good guys, great competitors, great coaches, but they are good guys. Nice to see a big-time college basketball coach smile under duress in early February.
Well, they can go to the video in terms of the clock. They can't go to the video to determine whether a basket was good or not. But they're going to take a look at a couple of different angles. And here from the far end zone, you can see right there, there's just 1 second. And now it's winding down.
I would say 0.8 of a second is what I'd put on the clock.
So Penny is going to shoot 2. They're going to leave the 0.5 on the clock. So instead of getting it down to 2 or 1, Wisconsin has a chance to stretch it back to 6 points. Big swing in the span of this last half second. And that's going to do it for this first half. So ending on a down note for Northwestern, but they battle back. Bo Ryan's club on the road leads it by 6. Let's go back to the studio and Chris Fowler. Chris?
All right, guys, thank you. The Mass Mutual halftime report is straight ahead. We'll check all the scores and highlights. UCLA, Georgetown, right down to the wire. Florida State has just taken the lead on North Carolina in the final minute at Chapel Hill. We'll track that game as well, plus all the other scores and highlights. Kansas State, a tight one as well this afternoon. That's all straight ahead.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball, brought to you by TD Waterhouse. You're in control. And Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at MBUSA.com.
Give me the wrench.
Here it is. Hold that thing. Oh.
Hi, sweetie.
It's good to do things yourself, but you ought to do your homework first. Same thing with the stock market. That's why TD Waterhouse gives you easy access to all the research you need, all in one place. Because you've got to learn before you can earn.
TD Waterhouse. You're in control.
Katie and John woke up and rubbed their eyes. It's the comfort of knowing college will be there for them. It's the comfort of knowing you can look forward to the day you retire. And it's the comfort of knowing the same State Farm agent who helped you plan for just in case can help you with what could be. For help with banking, insurance, and investing, talk to your agent today.
A good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Sooner or later, we've been waiting a long time for this.
The Battle of the Britons.
3 generations of the Britton family are insured with American Family Insurance.
Male versus female.
Sister versus brother. Take no prisoners.
There are just no worries with American Family Insurance. Great agent service, great claim service. When the kids get married, we tell the new spouse.
That's me.
When you join the family, you get American Family Insurance.
All your protection under one roof.
American Family Insurance.
My name is Tim Marcy, and I would like to show you the power of television advertising. Television is the most powerful way to reach your customers. We are the only media that can target your specific audience. Lifetime for women, ESPN for men. Programs like news, movies, sports, weather, music, and many more. No other form of advertising can offer you all these benefits to improve your store's traffic. Advertise the right way with cable advertising and Charter Media. So call me, Tim Marcy, and I'll show you the power of television advertising.
Welcome back to the Mass Mutual Halftime Report.
Here in Chapel
Bonus
Hill.
coverage. Florida State, North Carolina tied at 60, 20.8 to go. The Heels just hit 1 of 2 at the line. Seminole ball, final shot to perhaps win it or force overtime. Let's go to Steve Martin and Mike Jaminski.
North Carolina out with a jump shot. Tar Heels do not have a foul to give. The next one puts the Seminoles on the line for 1-1. 14 seconds left. Here's Galloway. Richardson, ball stolen. It's Noel to the rack, and he is fouled. With 5.6 seconds left to play, the freshman from Durham may get a chance to decide it.
He has been a factor in this game and over the last 3 as a starter, doing it defensively. They wanted to get the ball in Richardson's hands to let him make a play, but a good strip of the basketball. The other side of it, Steve, 44% from the free throw line is David Noel.
He's 1 of 2 today. Matt Doherty said, just give me 1.
Well, you throw that percentage right out the window. Big time play right there.
It seems like 5 minutes ago when Noel gave them the lead on the dunk.
Carolina's got to keep their heads about it. No timeouts for Florida State, so they're going to get it right back in.
Noel misses. Rebound comes away now. Here comes Johnson. 2 seconds for the win. No! The Tar Heels become the first ACC team to win 500 ACC games. And they break a 5-game losing streak, edging North Carolina on David Noel's foul shot with 5 seconds left. 61-60.
Bonus coverage here, that milestone, really just an afterthought. You're talking about a Tar Heel team that at 2-6 in the league was battling to stay out of the cellar. That's more relief than elation, beating the Noles at home. Welcome back to our Mass Mutual halftime report. Florida and Alabama in the SEC. You know all about Alabama's struggles. They were #1 in the AP about 5 weeks ago. They have been in a tailspin. Now they have to go on the road, where it's been a major struggle all season long, to a place where the home team has won 15 in a row. How do you like that? The Gators get going early here. Justin Hamilton on the feed, dunked by Colas, Florida up 13. Then Bonner knocks down the triple. A strong first half for the veteran. He had 10 before the break. Anthony Roberson, what a big future he has, knocks down the triple. And then again from behind the line, Florida jumping on the reeling tide, up 14 at that point. They have kept it rolling in the second half. 71-52 inside of 3 minutes to play. Bonner and Roberson, big afternoon. Winning streak should be 16 now as Alabama will slide, you'd have to believe, all the way out of the top 25 when the new poll comes out. Kansas and K-State, a good first half here in Manhattan. Jared Hart knocks down the triple to tie the game at 30 late in the first half. Miles pushes to Heinrich, takes it to the hoop, and the Jayhawks are back on top. Good physical battle here. Then Richards takes the shot, misses. Marcus Hayden there in the Wildcats and the wacky two-tone purple unis, a team that pushed Oklahoma to overtime at home and almost beat them. A 2-point lead now, about 6 minutes into the second half, and we're going to track that game. In the Big Ten, Iowa and Michigan, Rudy Tomjanovich had his number retired. Only the second Wolverine joining his idol, Cassie Russell, in the rafters at the arena there, and then watches as Iowa comes out early in the second half and takes a 5-point lead on the triple. Michigan charging back. Daniel Horton with the dunk down. 2-point Wolverine lead, and they would take control in this ballgame in the second half. Iowa turns it over. Robinson ahead of the field. And Michigan has an 11-game home winning streak. Alford and the Hawkeyes go down.
This halftime report is presented by Mass Mutual Financial Group. You can't predict, you can prepare.
Have you seen the new look for this year? Introducing the all-new CLK.
Yo, we got any eats? What? Eddie up. That's not a lot of loot. Watch me work.
Got a buck? You're in luck with McDonald's Dollar Menu. Your meal, your choices, at a price you can handle. Sandwiches, sides, desserts, just $1 each. Every day, only at McDonald's. Must be hungry.
Just a little bit. That's what I'm talking about. Parfait, s'il vous plaît. Say what? It's French, dog. Don't worry about it.
Is it safe? Yeah, but hurry. This better be quick. Come on, come on, come on. Whoa, there's no way we can beat Dollar's rates. Hey, how are ya? Meeting's starting. Let's go. Yeah, I'm coming. Yes. Dollar.com? Yeah, from now on. I can't afford us.
When it's your money you're spending, log on for our lowest rates at dollar.com.
Now available. The Ultimate Athletes will take you on the ultimate ride at the X Games with ESPN's Ultimate X DVD featuring all new bone-crushing extras, including up-close profiles, trick breakouts, and medal moments.
The only degree I have is anger management.
ESPN's Ultimate X.
This guy's crazy.
Featuring music by P.O.D., Incubus, Third Strike, Pennywise, and OPM.
Hardcore.
Own it today on DVD and video. Rated PG.
This is the Mass Mutual Halftime Report.
BC Rutgers went to the wire. Jerome Coleman gets it inside. Goes outside, hits the three, 68-64 Scarlet Knights final minutes. Then BC up a point. Coleman again drives, gets the lay-in. Rutgers back up by one. Andrew Bryant, final seconds. Cannot handle the pass that hit the bottom of the net. A crucial turnover. Rutgers wins it 75-72. BC's winning streak snapped at 3. Steve Lavin. Wow, the troubles continue. His team heads east. Jason Capono against Georgetown. The hoop and the foul. Bruins up 8 early. Georgetown keeping it close. Brandon Bowman, steal, and the dunk. But the Bruins have had the lead most of this game. Ryan Hollins, one of the young guys on the Bruins. Nice take off the dribble. UCLA up by 6. 70-70 game. 5 seconds to go. Bozeman knocks down the free throw. 71-70. That's where we stand. 4 seconds to go. We'll keep you posted. UCLA trying to snap that 9-game losing streak. Over the game of the season in the Atlantic 10, backyard rivals Dayton and Xavier on the Muskies home court. Sean Finn down low for the dunk, and the Flyers just jump out early, up by 15. And David West inside. 20 in the first half for West, single-handedly keeping Xavier in this game. DJ Stelly with the runner. Flyers still led it by 9. Sato from the perimeter cuts it back to a 5-point lead. And then Brooks Hall. Boy, this would be a huge win for Dayton on the road. The lay-in goes 39-35. They lead it in Cincinnati. Some other scores. DePaul, 72-64. They win it over Charlotte to level the conference mark at 4-4. And Memphis on the road, a 13-point lead over TCU at halftime. Well, the 9-game losing streak is over. It has gone final in Washington. UCLA 71-70 over Georgetown. Bad loss for the Hoyas. It'll be sweet for UCLA. More at halftime after this.
This halftime report is presented by Mass Mutual Financial Group. You can't predict, you can prepare.
Oh man, the trip was beyond expectations. Corey wore that marker on his face for a good 4 hours, I think. We had to stop like 9 or 10 times just for Matt. We got up there, snow dumped on us, fresh powder, so we built this jump, built a nice lip on it for Sam to go off. He didn't know that we built the lip. The girls at the hot tub were awesome, but for some reason, we didn't have much success. I don't know, maybe we'll have better luck next year. The new Honda Element. Go with it.
Northwestern University. Exceptional academic opportunities. 2 beautiful lakefront campuses. Outstanding faculty. Lifelong friendships. Northwestern University in Chicago. A symphony of success.
Where the heck are you? Hi, I'm Mike Weiniger, marketing manager at Westport Chrysler Dodge. And as marketing manager, I use one of the most effective advertising tools today in the market, which happens to be Charter Communication. It has been one of Westport Chrysler Dodge's main media sources in attracting new and return business. With the help of Tim Marcy, our account rep, and the Charter crew, our advertisements grab the attention of our customers. Look for our unique ads along with Westport Man on Charter Cable. Thanks, Charter, for being a vital asset to Westport Chrysler Dodge.
We sell close to 3 million boxes per month.
This is our smallest box.
This is our biggest box. We go on to the next question.
For 20 years, Boxes Incorporated has kept its commercial insurance neatly packaged with only one company, American Family Insurance.
Our American Family agent got to know us and to know our business. He's a real professional.
American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof.
Any size, any shape, boxes are our bag.
American Family Insurance.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball, brought to you by the new Honda Element. Go with it.
Welcome back to Welsh Ryan Arena. It is a 6-point lead for the Badgers after those 2 free throws with a half a second on the clock to end the half by Kirk Penny. Dave Trader back along with Bucky Waters. We talked about Kirk Penny, the senior from New Zealand, being the go-to guy for Wisconsin. Tim Young for Northwestern, and they didn't disappoint in that first half.
Amazing predictor of talent you are, and they did not disappoint. There's a 6'5",
senior all Big Ten guard. They took away his three-point shooting, made him put it on the floor, and he went to the free throw line 7 times. To Jim Young, the slasher more than score, went for 10. Both of those guys worked for everything they got. These are two tough defensive teams we're seeing, and points in this second half are going to be much harder to come by. The adjustments have been made.
Penny with 13 points, as Bucky pointed out, 6 of them at the free throw line. Young leading the way for his club with 10. Here is Wilkinson to the baseline. Penny for the 3. Great rotation on the ball. When he squares up and releases, one of the best in the country.
Yeah, you don't make all Big Ten back-to-back without having a lot of talent and a lot of guts. And he's all of his experience. You know, he's played internationally almost since he could walk.
That was a play that if you were watching earlier, we showed you highlights from the win over Indiana. That was a play that they ran for Tim Young that was well scouted by Wisconsin. Take a look at the numbers, and again, the first time these teams played, Wisconsin dominated on the boards and on the offensive glass. They did it again in that first half.
Yeah, and it's not something that Northwestern wasn't prepared for. It's just it's a physical problem they have matching up inside. Wisconsin tenacious. All of the shooting stats were identical. 46, 45, 33 from 3, 72 from the foul line. Everything was even but the glass.
See the comparison of Penny and Young, and that's going to be another Northwestern turnover.
Part of the reason for that, part of the reason for that stat there was that Northwestern did a good job in the first half of taking away Penny's good look at the 3. They made him put it on the floor, and we saw in that highlight how he was able to maneuver and get to the glass. But by doing it, by putting it on the floor, he went to the free throw line. He was 6 for 7, and that was the major difference.
Well, Penny has started things off here in the second half after going nearly 10 minutes down the stretch in the first half without a field goal. And good active hands there by Jason Burke to knock it out of bounds. It'll remain Badger basketball.
Bill Carmody, the Northwestern coach, with yet another change. The Jim Young now is playing Penny, and this is the 4th player from Northwestern to try to put the stops on the all Big Ten guard.
Here's Harris, draws the contact, lays it in. Bashad's going to say he's the one that lowered his shoulder on me, but Wisconsin's got their biggest lead at 11, and they can extend it with a free throw.
Devin Harris here was bait and switch. I got you up, I'll lean, and I got plenty of time to finish. A sophomore, that's a very heady play. That looked like a senior picking on a freshman. Bashad just a freshman.
Harris unable to hit the free throw. It remains 40-29. Here is Young, being watched by Wade.
DJ Parker now with 3 fouls. Has to be very careful of that charge, and he loves to penetrate.
A shot to the baseline, finds a man open underneath. Jennings is fouled hard. Later tonight here on ESPN, college basketball doubleheader. We'll kick it off at 7 Eastern. Michigan State 12-8 on the season, 4-4 in the Big Ten. They've won their last 2. They'll go up against an Indiana team that has lost their last 4 conference games, all on the road. And led at 9, Reese Gaines, a number 6 Louisville. 16-game winning streak on the line as they'll take on Houston.
Jennings with a good touch shoots 78% from the free throw line.
Talking about percentages, there's the look at Gaines and what he's done this year, averaging 18, 3rd in Conference USA, excellent three-point threat. What a job Rick Pitino has done with that Louisville program.
Nice to see him back in college. All he ever does in college is win wherever he is.
Wilkinson, Harris, and Owens now each with 3 fouls for Wisconsin, and that certainly could be a factor. Here is Penny. That was deflected. Good job by Hashad. Nice look inside, and Young able to finish. Mohamed Hashad, impressive.
The Badgers running those red jerseys back, but they weren't really picking up, and they didn't stop the ball. Northwestern very assertive now in transition, and this is a crucial part of the game. As we pointed out many times, Northwestern not a good team to make up points once behind, and they're really trying to keep it closer. Nice play. Young sliding behind the defense, great play, great penetration, under control.
Aaron Jennings for the second time, stepping out to hit a three. That is the 23rd three-pointer he has hit this year. That is significant because only Rick Rickert, the outstanding player for Minnesota, has hit more threes among players 6'11" or taller in the nation. Northwestern won't go away. It's back to a 5-point game.
Rivalry Week presented by Novell all week long on ESPN and ESPN2.
Okay, people, what now? System's still not connecting with remote locations?
No, sir, that's been fixed.
Applications not linking with our suppliers?
No, sir, we're good there.
Why are we here?
Shirts.
Shirts.
Yes, sir, we're a shirt company. We make shirts.
Memory upgrade. What happens when your technology lets you refocus on your business? Novell.
Well, we went out searching for some waves. It was pretty mellow, actually.
Man, chill out. I'm trying to eat.
The car ride out was good, except Luke kept taking his shoes off.
Luke. Oh.
We found this secret little surf spot. When we got there, the beach was totally empty. After a whole day of surfing, we just wanted to crash out.
The new Honda Element. Go with it.
I like to skate. I don't like to sweat. I use Red Zone because it's the strongest stuff you can get, made just for guys. It absorbs in and helps stop sweat, period. Try it. If you don't like it, Old Spice will buy you a stick of something else. Dude, think about it. Would they guarantee it if it didn't work? Red Zone from Old Spice.
New York Giant Michael Strahan and his mom brought Luis Hernandez new Campbell's Chunky Honey Roasted Ham and Potatoes. Filled up right by those hearty chunks of ham, Luis was in hog heaven.
New Domino's Dots taste so good, we want to give everyone a chance to try them. Get an order of gooey, delicious, cinnamon-covered Domino's Dots free when you buy a large one-topping pizza for $9.99, only from Domino's.
I love this job.
Get the door, quick, it's free Domino's Dots.
Update from the Big 12, where number 11 Kansas taking on their cross-state rivals Kansas State, beginning to assert themselves. Aaron Miles, little up fake, drives baseline. K-State, despite the real fashion problems with those two-tone purple unis, hanging around down 8. The other team in purple down 5 at home. Back to Dave and Bucky.
Oh, very good purple reference there. Chris Fowler keeping track of the colors here. As Rivalry Week, presented by Novell, rolls along. Wisconsin and Northwestern first met in 1909. Wisconsin has the decided advantage in the series 98-58.
That extended defense by the Wildcats really meant to slow the Badgers down, becoming more troublesome now. Boy, is he under control.
Yep.
The jump stop in the dictionary. It'll be Dirk Penny.
Wade couldn't get the little short jumper to go down. Here comes Parker, and again Northwestern with a chance to cut into this Badger lead.
Badger defense doesn't deny, not trying to make steals, just staying in front of you, lots of weak side help. You really got to work on this one.
Turn that one over, though, as Wade takes it away. That's the 5th turnover. Both of these teams, Bucky, take care of the ball extremely well. We talked about Wisconsin, only 11 turnovers a game, and that is 3rd in the nation, leads this conference. Offside, emphatically. Orlando Tucker able to send it down.
We mentioned that 37-inch vertical leap. For those of you who love to keep track of stats like that, he broke the record here set by Michael Finley, who was a terrific player at Wisconsin. Oh, my. The man's got hops. He plays both the 3 and the 4 spot. He's got a 3-point shot, plus that explosion around the basket. He is a nightmare as far as matchups. And he blew right by Aaron Jennings for that stuff. Jennings at 6'11", wasn't even in the picture.
You pointed out Tucker at 6'5", plays more like he's 6'9" or 6'10", still has the single game rebounding season high this year in the Big Ten. Some contact there as Tim Young went to the basket. You heard the groan from the crowd, not only for the missed shot, but also for the fact that no foul was called.
And no offensive rebounds. It's just Northwestern's just firing and falling back.
Dangerous pass, but it gets to Penny. He pulls up for the three, and he hits it under control, as you said, Bucky.
He's 6'5", about 215, 220, and he does what his body permits, and he does it beautifully. It's like a big Lincoln, you know. He's not trying to be a Jaguar. He doesn't go places he doesn't fit. Great touch, great control, great moxie. Here it is. Oh, you better make that steal, Young. That's all, folks.
19 points for Kirk Penny, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, and the rest of the Badgers say, yeah, we're used to that.
Well, he's the only senior on this really young team of Wisconsin, and they've got a great center coming. Brian, Butch, Badger. That's going to be good for the promotions department. But Butch is a 7-footer from Appleton, and the Final Four in his recruiting were Carolina, Kansas, and Marquette. So there's a big man coming, but I'll tell you, guys like number 20 don't come along very often. First half, he couldn't get the three off. Second half, he hadn't had to put it on the floor. He takes what you give him.
Well, Northwestern got it down to within 5, and Wisconsin responds with a 2-point basket and the 3-pointer by Penny.
T.J. Parker posting up under there. That's did not look like a good matchup.
Here is Burke, and they got a break there as it goes to Parker, swings it out to Burke on the wing. Floater on the way short. Shot clock went off. And what have we got? One official is calling for a shot clock violation, and that is going to be the agreed upon indication here.
One of the speeches Bo Ryan made at half was, give me some weak side defense. Often in the first half, Northwestern was able to get around the rim. Not so this half.
We don't win this game. Our dreams are shattered. We're going to be number 1, baby.
ESPN's The Season brings you sports from a different angle. Close enough to feel the tension. Tense enough to feel the heat. Hot enough to explode.
You're killing us!
The dream team that brought the ultimate prize to Hockeytown.
It's a big shift here.
Now, see the rings from a new perspective. On the road, off the ice.
The ultimate goal here in Detroit is about winning.
The Season, Detroit Red Wings, 8 Eastern Sunday on ESPN.
Well, we had an amazing road trip. It was incredible. There's nothing better than getting the guys together and hanging out for the weekend. We got a little lost on the way. Eric had the map.
Once again, you're pointing here, he's pointing over there.
247? 247, thank you!
Yeah, we mountain biked, did a little rock climbing. We met some friends out there, some girls. And somebody came in acting like an idiot. It could have been done at a different time, but I got back at it. You can't beat a road trip like that, and I'd go again, any day.
The new Honda Element. Go with it.
Hey, did you know that when you let Jackson Hewitt prepare your taxes, you can get money right away with a Money Now loan? Just walk in with your W-2 and walk out with money. So come on by, and I'll be happy to get you started.
Just saw your commercial.
What, this commercial?
Yeah, and I'd like to get money now.
This commercial?
Yeah.
Okay. Have a seat.
The Jackson Hewitt Money Now loan. You can't get money any faster.
It's Suzuki Best Spring Blast, and now's your chance to get the new Quadrunner ATV you've been waiting for. Right now, you can get up to $350 cash back on ATVs. And on approved credit, use your Suzuki credit card for great financing deals like $25 monthly payments for 9 months, or 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 6 months. There's also great financing available from 6.95 APR on select Quadrunner ATVs, or 2.95 APR on all Eigers and Vincents, as if you needed another reason to ride. The savings won't last long, so blast over to your Suzuki dealer today.
Purdue picked near the bottom preseason of the Big Ten, but in first place of the league, getting worked by the Gophers so far. Big Rick Rickert, the floater down the lane. It's a 13-point Minnesota lead, part of that free-for-all, guys, in the middle of the Big Ten.
Now, Chris, you're right. So much for preseason predictions. There is Purdue at the top. There you see Wisconsin at 5-3 in the middle of the pack. Northwestern down at 1-7 above only Penn State. But Bucky, you could probably start with Purdue and run a line all the way down to Ohio State and say any one of those teams could win that Big Ten tournament.
Absolutely, and the 6th annual tournament will be, 33 days, something like that. The Big Ten getting used to a postseason tournament. It's a great thing. It keeps all the teams at the bottom working hard. They got something to work for. Otherwise, your bottom teams don't play hard at the end of the season, and that takes a little off your top teams getting good competition going into the NCAA.
Here's Penny drawing the contact, not getting the call that time. Wade with the offensive rebound, and again, Wisconsin continues to pound the offensive glass, something Northwestern can't do at the other end.
There is not one offensive rebound individual for Northwestern this entire game. They have a total of 3 all team. That's an amazing stat.
Now Wisconsin starting to do it with their defense, transitioning to their offense, and Kirk Penny able to finish.
Hey, that big Lincoln motor in the straightaway.
Tim Young pulls up for the 3. That is too strong. Slapped at by Burke, and he's going to be called, Jason Burke, for the foul.
Boy, Northwestern just doesn't need those long, quick shots right now. And it's bothering Coach Bill Carmody. Here's the break. Yes, the Badgers can run. And the New Zealand Flash, well, I wouldn't call him Flash, can get out. He's much better going toward the offensive end than he is the defensive end. I would be too if I could score like that.
He had a good look off the screen there, just couldn't knock it down. T.J. Parker comes back. A big test for Bill Carmody's club. Again, as we pointed out, the way they're built, the way their offense is structured, not a team that likes to look at a 14-point deficit, but there's still a lot of time on the clock. Jennings, who's hit a couple of threes, was too strong on that one. There's an offensive rebound. What do you know? What do you know? They get a couple of points as a result.
Hey, the 6'11 guy shoots a 28-footer, and the 6'2 guy grabs it, puts it back in. It's been that kind of day for the Wildcats.
We're here at the Welsh Ryan Arena, Evanston, Illinois. Rivalry Week presented by Novell. And this is the Big Ten version of the rivalry here in Evanston, Illinois. The Northwestern Wildcats playing host to the Wisconsin Badgers. Dave Strader, Bucky Waters, the rest of our crew.
T.J. Parker, the brother of the famous NBA player at San Antonio, had a difficult time with Wisconsin in the first game. Only 5 points, and the physicalness that Wisconsin brings, the strong bodies and the tough perimeter defense, have bothered him all day. That plus he had 3 fouls at the half, and he definitely has not been the penetrating, flashing point guard that Carmody needs at this point. Yeah, they need to slow it down and go back to their stuff. There's plenty of time. They're down 13, but there's 13 to go.
It's been feast or famine for Parker offensively. He had no points against Ohio State. Bounced back with 21 in the upset win here over Indiana, but struggling again this afternoon and sitting down now with 4 personals. Hashad with a crossover dribble, and the foul's going to go against Orlando Tucker. Be sure to join ABC Sports tomorrow. Great regional college basketball coverage. Bucky at 1:30 Eastern. Some will see Josh Howard, perhaps the leading candidate for ACC Player of the Year, going against number 14 Marquette, or Texas Tech against Missouri. Then at 3:30 Eastern, a top 10 matchup in the Big East, Pittsburgh, Notre Dame. Others will see Oklahoma State, Cincinnati, USC, UNLV. Tomorrow on ABC, check local listings for the games in your area.
Wisconsin defense just not breaking down this head. Nice move.
Oh, Jennings couldn't finish. They were guilty of that about 3 times early in the ball game. Getting to the rim and not finishing, and now the ball out of bounds. And a Wisconsin player having a little difficulty getting untangled from the chair at courtside.
Great effort. This Badger team has had, there's the good move, absolutely unmolested. Aaron Jennings just couldn't get it to go down.
That was Kirk Penny. And one of the people on the end of that Northwestern bench tried to help.
Well, there goes New Zealand's international relations there. blew 2 Evanston folks away. The Badger teams always hustle like that. Former coach Dick Bennett, who's now relaxing, playing golf down in Florida, had a terrific run. Went to the Final Four, and his son Tony now sits on the bench with Bo Ryan. But the Badger teams have always been that tenacious, really tough half-court teams.
Well, I think there's some discussion of whether there's a timeout here or not, but it looks like there is. Bo Ryan having a conversation with one of the officials over by his huddle.
See, now you know he's not from Wisconsin. That's the way guys from the Delaware Valley talk. All hands and ours.
Well, what does Bo Ryan have to look forward to after this one? He's got Michigan State coming up February 11th. The game we'll have for you here on ESPN. Home to Indiana, then on the road for Penn State and Iowa. That Iowa game also on ESPN Plus, and then home to Michigan on ESPN Plus on February the 26th. Good job Tommy Emmerker's done with that Michigan team that's on probation, but that phenomenal 13-game win streak. But again, it's been second chance points, rebounding that's been the difference for Wisconsin, as it was the first time they met, Bucky.
Yeah, Wisconsin just very physical on that board, and the bodies aren't there for Northwestern. Stick back, stick back. Very impressive. There are bigger, stronger teams in the Big Ten than Northwestern, but they'll have their hands full with the Badgers. Of course, the Badgers had a nice run starting at home, and Northwestern, 5 of their first 7 were on the road. They did lose to Iowa here at home and to Michigan, but by scores of like 5 or 6 points. And this is a crucial part. This could go to 25, or we could have another 1-point game. And 3 of the last 4 Wisconsin wins on the road have been by 1 point. So they've been here.
Dave Mader, who just checked into the ball game, you saw him because he just picked up an offensive foul. The last 4 Big Ten road wins. Look at that, 1 point. Michigan State all 1-point games with the exception of the Minnesota 5-point margin.
Great drama usually at the end of these games. Parity is a much-used word, but these teams are balanced. Depends on the day.
Here is Jennings with the hook. Oh!
Wow. For those of you who are old enough, that was curling. That was miking. Oh, my. Nice lean-in baby hook.
11 points, still better than 11 minutes. Northwestern needs to do it, Bucky, at this defensive end and not allow the offensive rebound.
Their defense has been good on the first shot, but when they're getting 2, they're shooting 50%.
Penny unable to hit, and Winston Blake, number 3 for Northwestern, is down, and obviously in a lot of pain.
Let's see if we can pick it up on the replay.
Kirk Penny came off the screen to attempt a 3 that hit the side of the rim.
There's a timeout on the floor.
11:20 remaining here in the second half. We'll check it out on the replay and show it to you, see if we can figure out what happened to Winston Blake. The Wisconsin Badgers with an 11-point lead.
Field team in Northfield. Federated Insurance.
It's Howard.
Oh, Howard.
May 13th, 1947, we were playing in Crossley Field.
The fans in Cincinnati were not very pro-black baseball player at that time.
They were raucous, and they were on Jackie's case, saying anything they could about Jackie, all the racial slurs they could conceive.
They didn't want us there.
And suddenly I looked up, and there was
Pee Wee Reese, a white baseball player with the Dodgers.
A couple steps from Jackie, put his arm on his shoulder.
Put his arm around Jackie Robinson, a black man from Cairo, Georgia.
You have
We've been waiting a long time for this.
The Battle of the Britons.
3 generations of the Britton family are insured with American Family Insurance.
Male versus female.
Sister versus brother. Take no prisoners.
There are just no worries with American Family Insurance. Great agent service, great claim service. When the kids get married, we tell the new spouse,
That's me.
when you join the family, you get American Family Insurance.
All your protection under one roof.
American Family Insurance. My name is Tim Marcy, and I would like to show you the power of television advertising. Television is the most powerful way to reach your customers. We are the only media that can target your specific audience. Lifetime for women, ESPN for men. Programs like news, movies, sports, weather, music, and many more. No other form of advertising that can offer you all these benefits to improve your store's traffic. Advertise the right way with cable advertising and Charter Media. So call me, Tim Marcy, and I'll show you the power of television advertising.
Fight has been Dayton and Xavier, a pair of tournament-bound teams going at it in Cincinnati. Brooks Hall will untie this game with the triple. 37 points for David West of Xavier to keep him close. We'll keep you posted.
All right, Chris, thanks very much. Meanwhile, we figured out, Bucky, what happened to Winston Blake.
Winston Blake is right here. Now, Dirk Penny will take the shot. This is the man who does the hurting. Dave Mater, who just came back in the game. And he slides across to put the check. Oh! He puts the check on Winston Blake, and it looked like a TKO. He's up, moving around, but he's not playing right now. They had to take him out. It would have cost the timeout.
He might be singing a couple of octaves higher. He'll be on the bench for a couple of minutes.
That's one of those injuries Hallmark doesn't make a card for, but it hurts.
Meanwhile, Jennings, who's been able to hit from the outside, now has 8 points as he gets a 2-pointer. And it's inside double digits again. Here's Hashad with that defensive energy. And timeout call. The Northwestern players and fans wanted a traveling violation. Later tonight here on ESPN, college basketball doubleheader, 12-8. Michigan State 4-4 in the conference, taking on Indiana. They're 14-7, 4-4 in the conference as well. Then at 9, Reese Gaines, number 6, Louisville, taking on Houston, Conference USA action. All part of Rivalry Week, presented by Nobel here on ESPN and ESPN2. For more, log on to ESPN.com.
The question on that play was, whose momentum was pushing that ball over? Was it the steal by Hashad, or was it the Wisconsin player who carried it over? And frankly, without the replay, I'm not sure. It was right in front of us. But the call stands. It will be Wisconsin's ball at midcourt after the timeout.
So Carmody's club has to take on the 25th ranked Purdue Boilermakers, go to Michigan State, home to Minnesota, then it's Illinois, our top 25 team, and Penn State, a game you and I will do together.
Well, that game with Illinois is right down in the United Center, the same location as the Big Ten tournament. So what's new? Inside, Wisconsin stronger.
That breaks a drought of nearly 4 minutes between Wisconsin field goals. Here is Jennings to Tim Young. Nice fake there on Wade. Goes all the way. Reverse no good. That's about 5 layups now that Northwestern has missed.
And again, against that Wisconsin defense from the perimeter to the basket, you're supposed to get handled a little bit. They usually have terrific weak side defense, and now they're just punching tickets. Northwestern's got to take advantage of those breakdowns.
Penny with the ball fake and ran out of real estate. 9th turnover for this Wisconsin team that averages only 11 a game.
Turnovers were beautiful at the half, a total of 9 between the two teams. Neither team comes down with a lot of pressure.
Oh, good block by Wilkinson after Jennings got the position to grab that lob pass.
Wilkinson playing with 3 as well. And that was double pain for Bill Carmody. He thought he had the foul, and he thought he had the 4th on Wilkinson. Got neither.
Here's Penny. He can post his man as well. Ducks underneath. That looked like Kevin McHale type footwork from the guard.
Boy, the difference in that 4-point swing. The missed layup, the made layup.
23 now for Penny.
Young has a dislocated finger on that left hand, but it sure didn't hurt him against Indiana earlier in the week. He went off for 23 points and 12 boards.
A shot getting in close. Another missed layup attempt. He's claiming he was fouled.
You know, it looks like when Northwestern penetrates, they're anticipating shot blocking or, you know, really, and it's not there. They're going in unmolested.
Oh, good read there. Good read by Bo Wade. Biggest lead for the Badgers at 15 points. Mohamed Ashad's a pretty good one-on-one defender and looked like he had Boo Wade contained, but Wade saw an opening. Boy, did he explode.
Well, Ashad is getting a lot of defensive kudos for his ability to steal, but that time he just never got in front. Boy, you got to like this young Wisconsin team. Again, Penny will go, but most of these guys, everybody else is back, and a 7-foot center that's highly regarded. Bo Ryan's got him going. Wilkes College in Pennsylvania, but a long, successful run he has had at Plattsville, Wisconsin, and Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and although he spent 8 years as an apprentice here as an assistant at the University of Wisconsin. Now he's back as a boss.
Now, when they shoot 45% or better, and I imagine most teams have a pretty good percentage when they shoot that number, but 28 and 3 under Bo Ryan, you see they shoot better than 50%, 64% here in the second half. Jennings right at Wilkinson, and Wilkinson's going to be called for the foul. Got him with the lower body, as Donnie Gray demonstrates.
Good move going back inside. Aaron Jennings has been very productive. He's missed a couple around the rim, but Wisconsin's not very big either, and he's one dominant player on that Northwestern roster at 6'11" with good paws, and he has been effective, so I think we're going to see them go down to him.
Wilkinson, as you see, goes out. Clayton Hansen back in the ball game. Here is Blake, so he's recovered from his collision with Mater.
Wisconsin team on the floor, very, very small. No centers.
Here is Young trying to post on Wade. Couple of spin moves to the left. No good. Went after his own rebound. And it's Maurice Boo Wade that comes up with it.
Boy, Wisconsin, when you get that ball in the post, you got to beat them. They don't double down. They just expect that defender to handle it.
Owens picks it out. Hansen from the corner. He hit one in the first half, and he hits one coming off the bench here in the second.
He's an X factor. Slasher. 51% field goal percentage, and he can get them from anywhere.
Now Blake kicks it to the wing. Lob inside to Jennings, too long, but off the hands of Hansen and out of bounds. Wisconsin on a 9-0 run to stretch their 9-point lead out to their biggest lead. And again, they're getting it from a lot of different areas, including the bench, as Hansen shows here with a 3.
What's so incredible?
This. The system must think I'm him.
Who?
Him.
Holy, that's all his stuff.
I can't believe we're in here.
Talk about your insider information.
Be cool. He can see us.
So...
Cover me. I'm going in.
Browser. Someone you never worry about when your systems are secure. Novell.
No one who looks through that glass sees a person. They see a crime. You know I'm innocent.
No, I don't.
On February 21st comes a movie that will keep your pulse racing.
Someone's framing you.
Oh, it's more than that.
And your heart pounding.
They never found a video or anything.
Until it's suspenseful.
I'm running out of time.
Shocking.
Why frame an innocent man?
Mind-blowing conclusion.
Call everyone! The governor of the war condemned Supreme Court death clerk!
Kevin Spacey. The Life of David Gale. Rated R. Starts February 21st.
At most rental car companies, $25 will get you a basic economy car. While at Budget, $25 will get you a roomy midsize car, or even a midsize SUV. Let's see, $25 for an economy car, or $25 for a roomy midsize car. For a limited time, rent a roomy midsize car or midsize SUV for only $25 a weekend day from Budget, where you get more car and pay less money. Go to Budget.com today or call 1-800-BUDGET-7. Clowns not included.
presentation of Rivalry Week is presented by Novell.
Wisconsin, their biggest lead. Rivalry Week presented by Novell. We're in the Big Ten. We're in Evanston, Illinois. The Wildcats coming off the upset win over Indiana. And although they're trailing in this one, Aaron Jennings has been a bright spot for this Wildcat offense.
Boy, he's got great paws. Streakin Hayes got the outside shot, the nice baby hook inside. There's the turn fadeaway going baseline, and he's a good passer. He's got like a 1.5 assist turnover ratio, which is vital in that Princeton-type, now Northwestern-type offense. They need to get it to him more.
There you see his efficiency, 5 of 8 shooting, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, and Young able to get inside. So Young now with 6 points here in the second half. Jennings with 8. Those 2 players have accounted, Bucky, for all 14 of the Northwestern points. And they had gone 3.5 minutes without a field goal. And you can't do that when you're trying to come from behind.
That's not their style.
Owens kicks it to the wing. Here is Wade.
6'5" is the biggest Badger out there right now. As Bo Ryan spreading the floor, dribble penetration, taking plenty of time.
Boy, Clayton Hanson has made the most of his minutes here this afternoon, playing in just his 11th game. And this is the 21st game for the Wisconsin Badgers. 3 of 3 from beyond the arc for his 9 points. Jennings on the inside, taking advantage of that size there. But you can't trade 2s for 3s if you're Northwestern.
And Northwestern wisely not fouling the big fella, even though he's having his way in there, giving him a chance to stop the clock and still catch up on the board.
Badgers are going to be extremely patient. They've hit their last 5 field goal attempts. Just over 6 minutes remaining here. Owens pulls up. Difficult shot, but he knocks it down just inside the arc.
This isn't a swing offense, but this is a clinic. Right now, the Badgers spreading the floor and having their way.
Hashad posted up, now sets the screen for Jennings. Back to Hashad. He's wide open for the 3. No good. Boy, what a job by Jatim Young.
The little guy's a warrior. He just couldn't get it in the basket today. He was all over it with effort. Watch Young come in, number 25, a weak side on the board. Again, it's a small Badger team on the floor, but Young is only 6'2". Local Chicago product
out of Gordon Tech High School. And the foul was against Orlando Tucker. That was his 3rd. Unable to hit the second one in a big-time collision. And Blake, he knocked Devin Harris down to the floor, and Winston Blake will be called for the foul.
Wildcats have only committed 4 fouls.
Yep.
5:45 to go, but this game's getting away big time. They're going to have to go on a run of quick baskets, which is not really in the vocabulary for the Wildcats.
Harris explodes all the way to the basket, lays it off the glass and in.
Wildcat defense now porous. They look tired.
Now Jennings to the inside. He's got that huge advantage and try to take advantage of it once again. Harris pulls it off the boards. And wisely pulls it back out. You know, Bill Carmody was quoted after the big Purdue win over Wisconsin saying some teams don't like to play against an opponent coming in off a loss, but he said, sometimes I prefer it because there might be some doubt in the minds of that team coming in. But you got to credit Bo Ryan. If there was any doubts because of the way they played against Purdue, we haven't seen any of that. A very confident team right from the start.
Indeed, and both times in the previous game, at the start of the game and in the second half, Wisconsin just really jumped on Northwestern. That didn't happen today, but Wisconsin very solid. Despite the foul problems, very solid basketball team.
Bill Carmody calls a timeout, and we can remind you ESPN2 has 2 more great college basketball rivalries coming your way tonight. In the Big South, Winthrop looking to avenge a January loss to Coastal Carolina. We'll kick it off at 6 then. At 9 Eastern, number 3 Texas, the Longhorns, one of the best teams in the country. They'll take on in-state rivals, the Texas A&M Aggies, all part of Rivalry Week presented by Novell.
I know our friends back in Connecticut got some snow and cold, but they also got some good news, Dave. And that is that Jim Calhoun, the coach of Connecticut, had successful prostate surgery, and they're looking for him back in 3 or 4 weeks. Early detection was the key, and the V Foundation, of which the ESPN is a great supporter. George Bodenheimer, Vital, Krzyzewski, a bunch of us. I tell you, we're winning that battle, but early detection is the key. Get well soon, Jim.
And speaking of UConn, 17th ranked Huskies coming up next. They'll be taking on Providence in the Big East. And as Connecticut found out, when you're on the road, don't look at the records in conference. Virginia Tech, who had a win out of conference against Virginia earlier in the year, put a number on the Huskies. And Hashad is held up there as he tried to make his move. 20-point Wisconsin lead. Second personal foul against Kirk Penny. So Hashad will go to the line shooting 1-1. Bucky mentioned the Wildcats have committed only 4 fouls here in the second half. That's the 8th on the Badgers. But with this score, it's not going to be a factor. Offensive rebound, though. And Tim Young is the one guy that's been able to get in on the glass.
Northwestern's used to being out-rebounded. They're a -4 per game over the year. But today, the Badgers have really hammered them, out-rebounding them by 12.
So you combine that with that +21 they had in the first game. Quick math, Bucky. That's a 33 rebound advantage over the course of 2 games. Actually, a little less than 2 games.
And you can be a great coach, and I think Carmody can be someday. He's a good coach now, but you can't do it without the ball.
Well, Clayton Hansen knows what to do when he gets it beyond the arc. He has hit all 4 of his threes. And there's the rebounding differences from the 2 games as T.J. Parker able to get in on the inside.
Trouble on Parker has not helped Northwestern, but he doesn't have the equipment to solve their problem today, which is muscle and boards.
Penny, one of the few times you'll see him out of control. Not in control on that turnover, and a blocking foul at the other end going here against Devin Harris.
Well, there's no quit in the Wildcats, but they just don't look good when they're hurrying. Look at John pushing the ball up the floor. He would be much more effective in a more wide-open game, just with his style of play and his athleticism. He does very well with it in the conservative confines of the offense. This is a great athlete here. Not a good day. Especially had so many shots in close. Worked so hard, got to the rim. Good penetration, just couldn't get it to go down.
And for the 5th time this year, he gets to the 20-point plateau in consecutive games as he comes off 23 against Indiana. And there is Harris sitting down with his 4 personal fouls. 3:29 remaining here. Wisconsin on their way to a 6-3 conference record and 16-5 overall.
Jimmy May Lee coming into the game for Northwestern. He's a 3-point shooter. He had a heck of a night at Kansas State. In 40 minutes, he was 5 for 8, all 3-pointers for 15 points. And that's hopefully a little bit of desperation there that he can rekindle that stroke and bring the Wildcats back.
Both coaches going a little deeper into their benches as Wisconsin stretches this one out late in the second half.
Gentlemen, KFC is something unique and exciting. Hot wings. They're crispy, with a sizzling blast of spicy flavor that'll turn up the heat at any shindig.
Hot and crispy outside, tender inside. Hot wings only from KFC. For limited time, get 8 for only $2.99 or 20 for just $7.49.
I smell hot wings. That's breaking the ice at parties.
When Bill asked for some help with his retirement, I said, well, what's your goal? He said, you're looking at it.
We live where you live.
Now the same State Farm agent who helped you plan for just in case can help you plan what could be with IRAs and other retirement options.
Looks good to me. Let's go fishing.
For help with banking, insurance, and investing, talk to your agent today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi.
Hey, guys.
So,
my girlfriend bought this furniture. Except there's no instructions.
who needs instructions? Not that, huh?
Another Labatt Blue?
Beer me. Nice.
Look up, see blue. Labatt Blue.
Hey, honey. Look!
That's great. But where's the bookcase that I bought?
What?
One of the performances of the season so far. Xavier's David West has just carried the Musketeers in their backyard rivalry against Dayton today. 45 points for the All-American. Final minute, they pulled away, once down 15 in this game, up by 7. Guys? Ryan Gomes and Providence set to battle UConn. That's coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Chalmers and what he has meant.
Gomes for Providence, one of the really unsung big men in the Big East or anywhere. Connecticut trying to come back without Calhoun, but George Blaney, experienced coach at the controls. Look for Connecticut to make a surge at the end of the season. I like their club.
Final 3 minutes of this one. Hanson, who's done a great job off the bench from beyond the three-point line. There is Kirk Penny still in the ball game. And Evan Seacat, number 24, who's in for Northwestern, getting his hand on the ball.
Seacat, another three-point shooting specialist. He went 2 for 3 against NC State in the ACC Big Ten matchup. So desperation now for Northwestern, just trying to flood the floor with three-point shooters and hope a couple of them get hot. This is a minuscule team on the floor right now for Northwestern. No centers, no forwards, all three-point shooting perimeter guys. It's the only chance the Wildcats have.
Tim Young getting the foul. As you see, Bo Ryan's bench has done the better job. Neither one of these coaches go much beyond 7 players. Penny with the spin. Difficult fadeaway. Unable to get it over that front rim. And that ended a streak of 8 consecutive field goals made by the Wisconsin Badgers at the offensive end. Young wants the ball. Looking to go one-on-one against Wade. Little ball fake, and now the pass. Good job by Seacat to prevent the steal. Parker hands it off underneath. Young no good. Gets his own rebound. We're here at the Welsh Ryan Arena, campus of Northwestern University. Bill Carmody's Wildcats playing host to the Wisconsin Badgers. Dave Strader along with Bucky Waters, and we'll send you along to Connecticut and Providence as soon as we're done here. That's coming up next. Rivalry Week presented by Novell. Number 17, UConn and Providence in a Big East matchup. And Young has hit a double-double now in consecutive games with that rebound.
Bo Ryan very high on Devin Harris coming into the game, a 6'3" sophomore from Milwaukee. Leads the Big Ten in steals at 2.5. There weren't many steals today. There weren't that many turnovers today. And he's second in three-point percentage. Very happy with the way he has taken over that point guard position.
Now against the full court pressure, Northwestern's going to keep working. Penny and Wade in the backcourt. Penny leading the way with his 23 points. Nice dish underneath, and reverse is no good. Tipped a couple of times. Wade, he's going to get it again, or Tucker rather, lays it in. And Orlando Tucker, and you can hear now that there's quite a contingent of Wisconsin fans in this arena.
Tucker making Kirk Penny feel very much at home. Watch the kangaroo underneath. That is amazing. Just amazing. I don't want to jinx the kid. He's just a freshman, but he has a David Thompson style about him. The strength, the vertical leap, the ability to put it on the floor and play much bigger. He's exciting.
Here's Parker, tried to get it underneath the Young. It's taken away by Hansen. Clayton Hansen's going to get a lot of confidence for Bo Ryan, and you never know what a player like that could mean in a tight game in the Big Ten tournament, having this experience and success under his belt.
That tournament is 33 days away, the 6th annual Big Ten. And they play it right here in Chicago in the United Center.
Penny is called for the traveling violation. And Donnie Gray, he's showing him, you did the jump step, which was fine, but then you took another step, and that's why I called it. I don't like these officials that demonstrate.
Well, we're so impressed with his control, we point out when he does something that's out of control, and that's about as high a compliment as we can give.
Parker with the force, and Hansen comes up with the loose ball. And now the Wisconsin fans giving it to Parker on the air ball chant.
It's a cold, dreary day here in Evanston. There's whatever it takes to warm you up. This one's over.
Harris with the spin, hands it off. Tucker kicks it. Hansen. He doesn't have as much success when he steps inside the arc, does he? Young all the way to the basket, lays it up off the glass, no good. And Tim Young is going to go to the free throw line. Don't forget, coming up next year on ESPN, number 17 UConn taking on Providence.
Tim Welsh in Providence, that's a tough one. And that's one that that rivalry there, BC, Connecticut, Providence, very close and a lot of heat. Providence, one of the tough places to win. Welsh has done a terrific job there coming from Iona a few years back. That should be a good one today. Connecticut couldn't be in better hands with George Blaney, an experienced head coach at Holy Cross and at Seton Hall with Big East experience, covering for Jim Calhoun.
Young able to knock the second free throw down, and again, both coaches emptying their benches now with just 40 seconds remaining. 7th time this season that the Wisconsin Badgers have shot better than 50% from the floor. And again, you got to admire that they shoot this 50% coming off their worst shooting performance of the season. They were just 19 of 60, 32% in that 78-60 loss at Purdue.
This is true at Purdue, of course, with the great defense. The hard-nosed basketball is back. But the big stat factor here was just that, second shots. Wisconsin all day long was able to take the converted misses and turn them into field goals.
Seacat with a long-range three-pointer gets a reaction from the crowd. Chappell, number 5, who's in the ball game, throws it away. The shot to Burke. Seacat will try another three, and that one's off the iron, no good. And it'll be not enough time for that one last opportunity. Once again, here our final score. Bo Ryan's club wins it, 74-59. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on.